Hey guys, CK here. I had a few people asking me about my build lately, so I thought I'd make a quick video to go over everything and help people to make their own if they so choose to. Before I get into anything, I'll show you guys a map because you definitely want to see some gameplay before you decide to make a build. Ooh, I got a Hungering Swarm, look at that. That's nice. It is a cast on crit. We are playing an assassin. And yeah, this is what a map looks like. This is a tier 16 Elder Toxic Sewer. There we are. Some. Oh god, I'm shroud walking. Walking the shroud. Oh no, I'm dying. Oh god, where am I? Okay, this way. Some hard interaction. Ah, yeah. Oh, oh, where'd it go? This way? How does he just get me? You have no idea where you go with Shroudwalker. Bad. And these? This alchemy. That's pretty good. Ooh, using the transmute. You can ignore the fact that I've got transmutes on my loot filter. It's every now and then I do it if I'm running low on wisdom scrolls because I'm lazy and I don't want to buy them. Because that's like trade interaction and that's pretty feels bad, man. This is not a bad spot for a breach. Usually breaches suck in this map, but not too bad. Ruler's Orb. Oh, there's a Harvey up here. Oh! There you are. I'm so big. I have the juice. Oh, look at this density. Oh my gosh, so much loot. Actually feels really good, man. Let's get down this way and get some sulfite. Oh yeah. There we are. Ooh, we get some maps. Getting a lot of maps this map. Alright. There we are. Chaos Orb. Oh. The one thing that does annoy me about this build is if you hit a vine snare, it slows you down pretty quickly. These up. But I should tell you guys this. Positive things only about this build. 0 negatives. Alright, that was a map. So if you didn't hate that sort of gameplay, then keep watching, I guess. We'll go over the gear. So I'm using 2 Cosbury's Malice. You might ask, why are you not using a Lycosidae forehead? Well, I didn't want to, so yeah, that's fine. There's no particular reason why this isn't 14% attack speed, it's just I'm lazy. I'm not going for any like particular breakpoint or anything like that. Yeah, just get as much attack speed as you can on these. If you want to sort of like start with a budget version, you can just get like low attack speed, which is 8% minimum. But yeah, using 2 Cosbury's. You can use a Lycosidae if you want. It's just a personal preference. I have a 92% chance to hit, which is pretty good, and you don't feel it at all in mapping. General mapping, like I don't notice the 8% chance to not hit at all. So it's up to you what you want to do. I'm using a light poacher, so it's just mainly for the jewel sockets. Nothing too special. The spirit charge recover life when you lose a spirit charge does come in handy every now and then, and yeah, the spirit charges don't deal that much damage or anything. Whatever, bit of resists. Obviously need a better enchant, but yeah. For amulet, we're using the Solstice Vigil. This is a really amazing amulet. It's only 90 chaos as well. Well, it's 90 C for like a low rolled one, corrupted. That's all you need. Got a nice implicit on a nice base with the Onyx Amulet, the extra stats. Obviously, if you can get like a corrupted one for attack speed or something like that, that'd be nicer. But the all attributes comes in handy as well. A bit of life, bit of extra damage. Negligible, it's whatever. Temp Chains has 100% reduced mana reservation, so we do use Temp Chains here. On Blasphemy, pretty nice, bit of extra defense. And Shaper's presence for 10 seconds when you kill a rare or unique enemy. This is amazing. It's always up in maps, and it just makes all your buffs and I guess debuffs last for 50% increased duration, essentially, which is pretty amazing, especially if you're using a headhunter. But it also works for your flasks, your Veil Righteous Fire, which I'll talk about in a minute. Just everything. It's very, very nice. For a chest piece, I'm using an astral plate. Doesn't need to be an astral plate. I'm just using it for the extra resists on the implicit, but it does make it hard to get the colors. So if you want to use a different type of chest piece, that's fine as well. But you probably want to go rare and something similar to mine. So the minus total mana cost is pretty nice. It makes me have 0 mana cost on my Cyclone. Very nice quality of life, especially for no regen maps, that sort of stuff. The maximum life on kill recovery is where we get a lot of our life from. So, you know, if I'm killing stuff, I'm always at 100% life. If there's ads around bosses or syndicate members, I'm not really going to die because of this. It's very nice. Very much quality of life, and I would definitely say that it's probably it's going to feel a lot worse if you don't have this on your chest. And the attacks have critical strike chance. You can budget and go without that roll, but if you don't have that roll in your chest, you probably want to get a Hatred Crit Watcher's Eye. I'll talk a little bit about my current Watcher's Eye and a bit more about that in a little bit. And then just life, just if you can get them. What else? We got rings. I'm just looking for accuracy, life, filling out my resists, and then the total mana cost of skills, which is just on the crafting bench. It is a prefix, so if you're looking for rings, just look for an open prefix or something that's already got it on there. Nothing too special there. Belt, I'm using a headhunter. You don't need a headhunter at all. This is what I'm using. Makes mapping a little bit smoother. And let me get my mouth drying out. Oh, so much talking. Alright, you can use like a Bisco's Leash. Very nice secondary options, like 30 Chaos or something, I think. 3040 C. Bit of life, bit of cold res on that. Strength, all that sort of stuff. And Rampage, obviously. Gloves. The implicit, the grip gloves implicit doesn't actually do anything. It's just what my gloves happen to come on. People often say, "Oh, but you're not gaining the attack damage," and it's just a coincidence. I didn't buy them for the gripped base. Just looking for attack speed, accuracy, life, and filling out resists. I only need a little bit of lightning resist, so these were pretty cheap. But something similar with a bit more resist would set you back a little bit more. Boots, I'm using these. I crafted these myself. I'm not entirely sure how much it would cost to buy. I haven't really looked at it because I got lucky with crafts and I didn't have to buy one. But you don't need these. Up until 94, I think I was using just a normal pair of essentially the same things without the Canopy Frozen and without the cooldown recovery speed. But if you can get a pair like this, it's very nice. The enchant, you want the attack speed and cast speed if you've killed recently. It's very nice for mapping. But yeah, if you can get a pair like this with the cooldown recovery speed, the movement speed, life, just filling out resists if you need to, and then Canopy Frozen mod is amazing as well because it allows you to drop freeze and chill on your flask. Yeah, flasks. So I'm using Diamond Flask. We are cast on crit build, so we want to be critting as much as we can. With this up, I do have 100% effective crit, with like 99.99 or whatever it is. And Curse Immunity on the Diamond Flask. Doesn't have to be on the Diamond Flask, but either on the Diamond or the Basalt, you want Curse Immunity. Alchemist, Quicksilver of Adrenaline, very important. A lot of increased movement speed there. You can see I go from like a slow boy to a slightly less slow boy. Makes a big difference, and you definitely want to get yourselves one of those. Using a basalt flask of the Order. So this crafted mod here it's like a little bit of extra quality of life, a little bit of extra leech. You don't need that crafted mod by any means. But yeah, I'm using a basalt to help prevent one-shots from some of the spookier Syndicate members, especially with some of the map mods that I do. And then just an Atziri's Promise, bit of extra leech. Once again, don't really need the extra leech that much, but it comes in handy every now and then. A bit of extra damage. And Dying Sun, which synergizes really well with our build because we do use projectiles and AoE skills. Less fire damage taken comes in handy every now and then for like volatiles. Mammoth, if you're doing like a avoid LE ailments map or something like that, could happen, so nice to have. And yeah, we can do all map mods on this build, by the way. So I don't know if I actually have. Yeah, I do have melee reflect maps here. It doesn't matter. LE reflect, no leech, no regen, anything. Literally every map mod. And I'll talk about the reason we can do I'll talk about the reason we can do reflect a little bit later when I go with the passive tree. But let's go over skill gems for now. So in my left Cospri's Malice, doesn't matter which one it is. It's just I've got it in my left one. I'm using Frostbolt 2120 if you can get it, and supporting with Hypothermia and Cold Pen. And then in my other one, Hypothermia and Cold Pen once again, supporting Ice Nova 2120 again if you can get it. In the helm, I'm using Vel Righteous Fire. I recently picked this up. I was running Elder Moon Temple, and if you get Transportation Betrayal mechanic in Moon Temple, it gives you about 2 seconds to kill everything before they reach the end of their path. Literally 2-3 seconds. So I just popped it on for a little bit of extra damage for that. And I have switched back to Toxic Sewers, but it's kind of nice. I'm enjoying it, like having it on. So I'm leaving it on. Before I just had some support gems, which was supporting the Spirit Charge, which was not a big deal at all. I'm also using War Banner for a little bit of extra accuracy rating. I'm not actually sure if it's making much difference. Look. Yeah, it's not giving me any extra, but maybe a level 20 it will. So we'll see. But yeah, you can use increased duration for your VRF if you want, but it does make the soul gain prevention time kind of iffy, especially with the Solstice Vigil, which actually does affect the duration of your Vel Righteous Fire as well, and your soul gain prevention as well. In the chest, I'm using Arc, level 21. Getting quality on Arc is pretty useless because we're crit. So we're critting all the time, and our Arc is critting all the time, which is shocking enemies anyway, and the quality on Arc just gives increased chance to shock. So pretty useless. Just get 21-0 if you can get it. I'm using Cyclone to proc the cast on crits. Pretty good for mapping, but if you want to do some single target shenanigans, I'd probably swap it out for a Blade Flurry. Increased crit, ideally 21-20. I haven't upgraded mine yet because I'm pretty poor with Batman. Blade Vortex, once again 21-20 if you can get it. I haven't got one yet either. Got 20-22, which is kind of less, but slightly better than 20-20. If you don't want to use Blade Vortex, you could swap it out for a Blade Fall, which I've been thinking about trying but haven't got around to testing yet, so I'm sure it'd be good as well if you wanted to change things up. Using Cast on Crit, obviously. I'm using Empower. If you get I wanted to use Hypothermia here, but because of the base, it was hard to get 6 off colors, so I'm using Empower instead. But I believe I haven't POB'd it or anything, so you guys can do that if you want. But I think Hypothermia would slightly outweigh Empower, but they're probably pretty comparable. So whichever you get, red or green, would be fine here as well. In the gloves, I'm using Temp Chains and Blasphemy. Once again, we get the free Temp Chains from the amulet, so I'm utilizing that. And then I'm just using Leap Slam and Faster Attacks. 2023 on the Faster Attacks if you can get it. But not a huge deal either way. You can also use, if you don't want to use Temp Chains, you can use a Fortify in here as well, which gets its duration extended by the Solstice Vigil. I don't like using Fortify on Leap Slam sort of stuff. It's just like a personal preference. I'm lazy. I don't want to worry about that sort of stuff. So I went for the Temp Chains instead. But personal preference, up to you. Just another option. You can do that if you want. In the boots, I'm using Herald of Ice, increased AoE, and Ice Bite. Ice Bite's nice for the Frenzy Charge generation, more speed, more damage with the Frenzy Charges, which is pretty nice. And I'm using Vitality. Now, I'll show you why I'm using Vitality. Let's go to the passive tree. Where's my... Here it is. So I'm using a life gained for each enemy hit while affected by Vitality Watcher's Eye, which is pretty nice. It procs the life gain on hit off attacks and spells, so I'm gaining a lot. You don't strictly need this Watcher's Eye. You can get away with it. Can get away without it, rather, if you want to sort of make a budget version of the build. But it is pretty nice quality of life for Syndicate members if there's no ads around and you're not getting life from the chess piece roll. It's pretty nice quality of life for like some bosses and stuff. If you're going to do bossing in general, like Elder, Uber Elder, Shaper, that sort of stuff, you probably do want something like this, but then again, there's a lot of good options around for Watcher's Eyes, so you can have a look around and use something else maybe. But once again, if you don't get the attacks have increased a critical strike chance on your chest piece, then you probably do want to swap this out for a Hatred Crit Watcher's Eye, which is actually, or at the time that I bought them, is actually slightly less expensive than this one. I think the Hatred Crit was 2x and this one was 3. I don't know if that's changed yet for now. I'm using one Frozen Trail with Corrupted Blood cannot be inflicted on you. This allows me to drop a bleeding on my flasks, and it is pretty nice quality of life. And then it's just like some extra projectiles, a little bit of extra damage on the projectile damage, and some extra projectiles for the Frostbolt. Other than that, it's pretty general. Go down and grab Acrobatics, grab all this juice, get the attack speed and global crit here. You can swap this, you can put an Inspired Learning in here if you want, if you don't have a Headhunter. I'm going to throw in Inspired Learning. You've already got all the notables in the range, so you can just put it straight in. You can grab another one up here if you grab Infused as well. Absolutely fine to do that. Other than that, it's pretty generic. Alchemist is really good. And yeah, you'll find that you probably, if you're using an Astral Plate, you probably need some of these strength nodes in here. Especially if you have a nice corruption like attack speed or whatever on your amulet, you'll probably need some of these strength nodes to be able to use your Astral Plate. But if you're using a different chest base, then it's not a big deal. But yeah, other than that, there's the Ascendancy tree. So we grab Ambush and Assassinate, which is it's pretty nice for like general mapping. It's not that great against bosses, but well, except for the culling strike, obviously against bosses is pretty nice, but the rest of it's not that great for bosses. but very nice for mapping. Opportunistic is why we can do no reflect maps. We have an effective 100% crit chance while we're mapping. Got all that stuff up. So damage from your critical strikes cannot be reflected. This means we never take any damage from reflect at all. And then obviously stable infusion and down to deadly infusion. As for the order, I think I went... What did I do? I'm pretty sure I went opportunistic, then unstable infusion, deadly infusion, and ambush and assassinate. But it's not a big deal, just personal preference. However you want to do for whatever leveling build you're doing. Which brings me to leveling. Hello, segue. Leveling, you don't want to level as cast on crit. It's pretty pepega to level as cast on crit. I leveled with Stormbrand, which was pretty easy. It's a somewhat similar tree. Grab some like brand nodes, some here, some like general elemental damage. You get like still get spell crit and stuff like that. So I leveled with Stormbrand, which was very smooth. Just get level 70 or I think or 68 in the Blood Aqueducts, and then switched over to cast on crit. Takes a little bit of a respec, but nothing too major, and that's probably what I would suggest leveling with at the moment in the current meta. Otherwise you can level with like arc traps or something like that as well, but yeah. Oh, I should go over the jewels. We're just looking for life. I just went for life, and then attack speed if you've dealt a critical strike recently is pretty nice as well, and then just anything else like crit multi, crit chance. You want one with chance to gain onslaught for 4 seconds on kill. You're gonna get like flat damage to spells, that sort of stuff. Pretty generic stuff. Pantheons. I'm using Soul of Lunaris, which is kind of nice sometimes, and like fully upgraded obviously. Soul of Shakiri as well. Into poison, a bit of reduced chaos damage taken over time while Caustic Cloud, which is nice for Toxic Sewers, especially with the boss. Saves you a bit on the strong boxes as well sometimes if they create Caustic Clouds. You could also go Soul of Aracali for even more chaos damage over time resistance. But yeah, Soul of Solaris is pretty good as well, actually. It's up to you, whichever one you want to take. I probably wouldn't take Soul of the Brine King, though. It's not that useful for this build. Yeah, I think that's... that might be about it. Oh, for bandits, I took a Lyra. Bit of resist, bit of crit multi, and the mana is kind of nice while leveling. It's not a huge deal. It does... I mean, I guess you can spam your Leap Slam, but I think you could probably do that anyway. The Leap Slam does cost a little bit of mana because it's not socketed in the chest piece, which has the extra 15, minus 15 mana cost. But the only time you notice it is if you're doing a no regen map that has a really bad layout and you're having to do a lot of Leap Slamming. Like it's only 3 mana. It's the only mana cost thing we have, and we have 111 mana. Well, I do. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and hopefully that helps you guys make a version of this build if you so choose to. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. I certainly did, and I will see you guys around. If you guys have any questions, you can come ask me. I'm on back on Twitch. So twitch.tv/ck__. CK_ was taken. Feels pretty bad, man. But yeah, you can come ask me there, or you can join my Discord. If I'm not live, I'm pretty much always in Discord unless I'm sleeping. So best place to contact me is there, or you can just post a question on the video, and I'll try and answer that as well. Yeah, bye guys.